So let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Professor R.K. Rao, R. Koteshwar Rao. So, I feel very glad to be in the midst of you, and I have been in my service only students. I know only students. So that's good. First of all, we will be knowing about the history of Indian agriculture that everybody would like to know, because there will be you see, IAS is a choice for all. It is a cup of tea for all the people. Different types of people will be sitting. Arts, science, any subject, even literature people are also sitting here. So that's why we just start with, this option starts with, what is agriculture, history of agriculture in India. So that is the first session we'll be giving it here. One studies a particular subject. Mechanically, if one is studying, maybe that will not be a product for him. But interest is the driving force for anything to happen on this earth. Correct? Interest. Desire to become something. Desire to be like that. Desire to sit the collector's seat is the motivating force for the people to come to IAS. Not that they don't get jobs elsewhere, they get. Maybe sometimes I see the people here, even 3 lakhs, 5 lakhs people are also sitting in front of me in privates. But when we ask them, they say, we want to be a collector, sir. It is not just for a few bucks we are doing it. It means they are resolute to be on the administration and do something for themselves and also for the people. So that's the desire, that is the motivating force, that creating a hype for the IAS nowadays. Previously, when we were studying IAS, we never heard it. When we never heard of it, or rather even if we have heard it, that was not striking us much. But here, today, this scene scenario is changing. So I welcome every one of you once again, and we will go to the curriculum proper. Before we go to that, I would like to share one feedback of my students here. This comprises of, you all know by this time you have also attempted prelims, mains and interview, which is much more dangerous. Prelims, mains and interview carries 275 marks, more than a paper. Within half an hour, you will be adjudged. You will be sized up. You just see how dangerous the situation is. So that's why here I shall tell you what are the inputs for you. What all you need for the IAS, or for that matter any competitive examination, will be taught here. Here I would like to share the feedback of my previous students. I just asked, every batch I will be asking. They will be telling few things. The most striking feedback what I got, one girl stood up and said, "Sir, I would like to comment or feedback in one sentence, sir." I said, "I love it. It's good." Reducing it to one word is not that easy. Anything? condensing it. So I love it. Please proceed. Then she said only one thing. This course, what we have learnt here, she is an agriculture graduate also, is 360 degrees course. I could not just follow it much. Maybe you must have followed it. 360 degrees. Huh? I said, baby, can you just enlighten me a little? For my just understanding. Because you said only in one line you will be telling it. I am so happy. But this comprehensive understanding I am not getting. Kindly enlighten me. Then she said, sir, here we face prelims. There is only bits. Now and then what you are writing on the bits, on the board, we are jotting down. So that it is helping us whenever it comes from the agriculture side, we will be able to attend to it. Then of course, mains. So static portion you are telling, static, because as per the syllabus. And a notes is also given to you. After that, it's not the material that I will be giving. We professors, retired people sat together and prepared this IAS course. And others also will be joining me. I am the only, whatever you call it, main person or a leader or whatever you call it, in due course, as and when required. So, they said, of course, for the mains, as per the curriculum, as per the syllabus, it is taught and a notes is given to us. Wonderful. And the third one, what we don't learn anywhere is the soft skills. Soft skills. Can I just know what do you mean by soft skills? No? I will tell. I will take the pleasure to tell you. Say communication skill. See, in the interview, what is going to be judged? How? See, there is something in your mind. How you are able to express it and express it effectively, convincingly, acceptably to the board, isn't it? This is a soft skill. It is not taught elsewhere. This is not in the syllabus, isn't it? Is there anywhere in the syllabus you find this soft skill? No. So, where, as and when, where it is needed, soft skills, I am just a protagonist or a believer of soft skills. Many people have gone to the interview, I know. Many people have gone and came back. But they are all very intelligent people, clever people, knowledgeable people. Otherwise, they would not have gone to Delhi, UPSC. What is all that? Whatever that is there in their mind, they could not present it properly to the board. That's all. So, we have started here Agri Parliament. There you will be given a chance to interact. Here also I am requesting every one of you, please interact. Make this session lively and productive. Not only lively, it should be productive. When questions are there, it will become more productive. I like questioning. Reasonable questions. So, like this we will be knowing. And then written skill, communication skill, oral and also written. Examination after each topic, completion of that, a notes will be given to, an examination will be conducted. So, series of examinations will be conducting by the time you complete the course. As many as possible. and personally I will be mentoring them. I will be calling to my chamber or anywhere specifically, and personal attention will be given to you so that you will be able to score more marks. How to begin the question, how to complete it in time, how the body is to be built up, how it should be ended. These are all the things that we need. So this mentoring will be made to every one of you. Okay? So these are all the inputs that you will be getting. Indirectly I said what are all the inputs in this. So now we'll go to the core of the subject, that is trajectory of Indian agriculture. Trajectory or chronicle or history of Indian agriculture. We ought to know it. And before that, I request you to take a question, because in every session I will be posing questions for myself, and that will be answered. In that way, very many questions are being answered in the sessions itself. And not only that, I will be giving a question answer bank in the end. Question answer bank. I questioned myself, I answered it. That also will be imparted to you in the end after the completion of the course. So here in every session, in every class, there will be a one question. Here, kindly take down the question. What is the formula suggested? What is the formula suggested by Dr. M.S. Swaminathan for awarding MSP? For awarding MSP. And what is the rationale of MSP? Explain what is the rationale of MSP. Kindly read the question. Please read the question.
What is the formula suggested by the Dr. M.S. Swaminathan for awarding MSP, and explain what is the rationale of MSP?
Yes. Okay, done. Can you try? Because you are agriculture graduate. I don't ask you. I don't frustrate. Can you?
But actually, I doesn't know about these questions. How to answer these questions. Because the criteria suggested by...
Because you see, ours will be coming in the mains, isn't it? See, optional subject, mains only. And certain bits will be coming hither thither. You know that, huh? So, we must be able to answer these questions.
Yes,
Because we draw questions from the previous papers and what we visualize also. In the coming years, what will be going to be asked. Like that we visualize. Sit down. Can you? Let us make it interactive. I want to say, I can just tell it. See, teacher is one person who knows it and then asking the students. It is all like that it is said. So I know it, but only the thing is, I have to know it. You should also participate.
I think it's like suggesting MSP for minimum supporting price for various crops, like a standard.
Here our question is, what is our question now?
Awarding.
formula is asked because you will be having only 7 minutes to answer the question. 25 questions will be there. Very difficult. See, time is the muscle. Please know. Time is the muscle. Many people know the questions and will not be able to complete in time. So that's why you must be able to write fast enough, straight enough, straight to the point only. If you go on hitting around the bush, you will be losing the time. And they will also, he is not getting my question properly like that. You see, examiner will be thinking, if I am an examiner, I will be thinking that you did not get the question properly. What I exactly wanted, you did not understood. That is what I will be feeling. So it's not like that. So we have to understand the question, read once, twice, what this examiner wants from me. So straight go to the, straight deal only, straight go to the subject, that's all. Without any circuit, without any, rather wasting our time. Right? So here the formula is asked, one thing. If you write the formula, that will be all right. Then rationale. There will be a few points for the rationale. So those few points also you will be knowing as we move on in this session. Okay? Right. So now we'll see, before going to that history, let us try to understand what agriculture refers to. What agriculture refers to. Please come in. Or the definition of agriculture. Here are people. You are from Guntur? What you have studied? Tell few words about you.
My name is Avinash Kancharla. I completed my graduation in agriculture from Agriculture College.
Agriculture?
Yes. And after that, I worked as a field officer and special officer in Canara Bank. I took a leave in
Acha, you want to leave Canara Bank officer? Officer post you have selected?
Yes.
Are you working?
Yes.
Now you are working with all that also. Okay, that's good. Welcome to you. It is the hype. IAS hype. Let him get settled, then we'll ask him afterwards. Where we are? We are on definition. Just to define. Different books have given in a different way. Elaborate decisions because subject is also elaborate. But let us give a simple definition. Straight and simple definition let us give. Can we try? Yes. It is just nothing but growing crops, food crops, growing food crops and raising animals. Correct? Very straight. Maybe that baby said, very straight answer. Of course, down to that you can elaborate. Food crops, growing food crops include what? Land preparation. So many package of practices. So many package of practices. Raising animals include cattle raising, dairy, poultry, duckery, fishery. Like that, you see, all these are included in that. Raising animals. Okay? Then, agriculture is very, because ours is an agrarian country, agriculture occupies center stage. Now, if there is any problem in to the Indian governments, it is the agriculture. It's the farmers' problems. Farmers' problems. Of course, unemployment is a problem. But see, I am not telling that, you see, this is the only problem that Indian government is facing, or we all will be knowing. But we have to know the importance of agriculture in the Indian economy. So number 1 point you can just write, it supplies food to us. Food to human, food to animals. For animals, hay, fodder and silage. Okay? Are you getting? Silage, you may not be knowing certain words. Hello, Venkatesh. So, that is the thing. Food in the form of grains, cereal grains, pulses, oil seeds, vegetables, fruits and all that. Okay? So, number 1 is it supplies food. That is the important one. Then comes it GDP. 17 to 18% of GDP comes under from agriculture. Total GDP 17 to 80%. 10% of our exports are from agriculture produce only, which will be measuring about 39 million tons. 39 million rupees. Billion rupees. So it is export oriented and GDP giving. GDP అంటే తెలుసు కదా అందరికి. GDP giving. And what else? Come on, let us. You can also add. There are several things are there we'll be adding. Backbone of the economy. You can tell it. It's the backbone of the economy. Well, you can add one more thing.
Half of the people dependent on agriculture.
60% of the people are dependent on agriculture only. Even today, 60% of the people, it's a livelihood. It's a livelihood providing livelihood to the people. Well, good, beautiful.
And even industrial sector and service sector are also sometimes fluctuating. The only sector which was continuously growing even in some pandemics also. Continuous growth rate also from agriculture.
Yes. So, there are several things which we will be narrating now. 1, we have seen the GDP, we have seen export oriented. What are our exported items? Mainly coffee, tea.
Spices.
Exactly.
Textiles.
Textiles. Good enough. So like this, the several agricultural produce are export oriented. Okay? What else? This gentleman will tell. We all will be pulling it. Whatever is left, I will be telling in the end. Anything you can add? Many industries, agro-based industries, are dependent on agriculture for their raw materials. For example, sugarcane, cotton, jute, rubber, like that, isn't it? So, then transport sector is also dependent on agricultural produce. Heavily dependent on agricultural produce, transport sector also. Then in arid and semi-arid areas, agriculture, whatever you call it, agriculture makes the soil green and keep the earth cool, isn't it? Agriculture keeps the earth cool. Right? Then what else? Inka? Many medicines and drugs are from the agricultural produce only. Research is mostly dependent on specimens supplied from agricultural produce only. So, conservation, that is say soil erosion is controlled by the plants. Plant roots anchor the soil and controls the soil erosion. So that's why degradation of the soil will not be there. Okay? So these are certain few things you can write.
Oxygen also.
Huh?
With oxygen also.
Yes, pollution. Rightly said. Plants absorb CO2 and release oxygen so that it reduces the pollution. How nice you are. Like that. Inka yamana. Drill on.
Protein supplements protein supplements like new gene transplantation, like proteins in grains, rice.
Nutrient ridden, you mean to say? It supplies nutrients needed, so it will be having health benefits. You can just call it as, it is health giving. Many items, agricultural products provide good health to the human. Okay? Anything? Still we can add. You just see how many are coming. Like this, some 10 points that will do for us. Then we'll go to the history after studying these things. That is the importance of agriculture in the economy and the definition we have seen. Now we'll see how the agriculture was when the India was liberated. 50 crores people at that time population. Famines were common. Hunger deaths was a phenomenon. To quote that, 1943 Bengal famine is an infamous classical example where 4 million people died. And Indian people dependent on PL 480 only. Ship has to come to feed our people. That was our situation. So, a stigma we earned, people with begging bowel. Indian people, though it is an agrarian country, we earned a stigma that is a begging bowel. Under PL 480, the ship has to come to feed our own people. That was the precarious situation, though it was an agrarian country. In the when we got independence, 1950s, that was the situation. Then came, just like a boon, the Green Revolution. The period of Green Revolution, the entire scene scenario is changed, drastically changed. GR started in which year? 1960 GR started in India. 1960 GR started. And it continued. Up to 70 famines were in order. Up to 70 famines, hunger deaths were common because it was to pick up. So at this stage, can we know actually who coined this word, GR? No. One by name William Gord. He is the man coined the word 1968. He coined the word Green Revolution. Who is this gentleman? He is a director of USAID. Can we expand this, gentlemen? USAID. United States Agency for International Development. He is the director. So he coined the word first in the world, the Green Revolution word. It is unlike Red Revolution or Milk Revolution. And what was the gene responsible for rice revolution, rice in green revolution? Rice revolution in the green. Huh? Rice revolution in green revolution started with what gene was responsible? Gene. You must have already in the trimesters, semesters, first semester, second semester, you must have read it. There was one gene responsible for the revolution in rice production. That was this is the gene, DG Wugen. You must be recollecting now, huh? DG Wugen was the gene responsible for the rice revolution in the time of Green Revolution. DG Wugen. And it is crossed with what? PETA. PETA, PETA. It was crossed, DG Wugen was crossed with PETA. This is a Chinese variety. And this is Indonesian variety. This was done at Philippines. What is the famousness of Philippines? IRRI is there. You heard of it, IRRI? Can please. International Rice Research Institute, stationed at, which year it was started? 1960 it was started. 1960. With the cooperation of Ford Foundation and Rockefeller Foundation. So this was started, and then in 1962 this crossing was done at Philippines. Consequently, a strain was produced, IR8. This is responsible for the rice revolution at that time. And it started giving about 5 times than the traditional varieties. 5 times yield. So that's why it was nicknamed as miracle seed. In the prelims you may get things like that, They will be just asking, what was the gene responsible for the rice revolution at the time of Green Revolution, like that. And wheat revolution is brought by another gene, Norin 10. Now you must be recollecting it. Norin 10. This is a variety of Japanese variety. Because long back you must have studied this. Long back. But we have to recall all these things now. because they are all necessity for us in the prelims. We have to recall. There is no other way left. So it is Japanese variety. Who is the father of Green Revolution in India? Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, and every one of us shall know it. And father of Green Revolution in the world, who is that? Norman Borlaug. Norman Borlaug. Why he is called? He is a Mexican breeder and an agronomist, and he is responsible for Green Revolution in India also. In 1962, he was brought to India at the instance of the central government. So he was requested to select the places for starting the Green Revolution. He selected, positively you all know that, Punjab, Haryana and Western UP. They are more suitable for the dwarf varieties. So he had selected that particular area, Green Revolution. Green Revolution commenced in India, in Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh, Western UP only, not the entire UP, Western UP only. Okay. What are the components of GR? Components of GR. High yielding varieties, number one component. Dwarf varieties, high yielding dwarf varieties is a component. Then fertilizers, pesticides, fungicides, agrochemicals is another component. Irrigation is another component. Irrigation is needed. The high yielding varieties, why they give the harvesting index of high yielding varieties 40%. Whereas our traditional variety is only 20%. Harvest index means ratio of green to the vegetative portion. That is said to be the harvesting index. Ratio of green to the vegetative portion. So our tall growing ones are more of vegetative growth, less of green. So that's why it is only 20% harvest index. But whereas dwarf varieties, they are short in stature and vegetative growth is less, the greens are more for the panicle. So that's why the harvesting index is 40%. So after this, the components, let us go on discussing the components. High yielding varieties, irrigation, agrochemicals, fertilizers. There is a need of fertilizers now here because our farmyard manure and compost is not that sufficient to feed the crop, high yielding crop. That's why there was a necessity to go for artificial fertilizers, that is chemical fertilizers. And these, see, there was an agrochemicals, why there was a need? Because they are all new varieties. New varieties, our land races are very resistant to the pests and diseases, but whereas these are new ones and succulent ones. So there was a necessity of agrochemicals to control the pests and diseases and weeds also. A new type of needs started coming. So there was herbicides need, weedicide needs has become a must. Well, then storage is another problem. Is also another component. Because the product is produced somewhere in those areas and that has to be stored there before they are transported to elsewhere. So storage has become another component of the GR, because GR did not spread uniformly in the entire country. And it did not touch the 60% of our dry lands. Totally it did not touch because there was no water was there. It did not touch. So that's why maximum area was left, whatever you call it, untouched by the Green Revolution. Only particular areas was touched where there is a irrigation facility is there. Right. So these are becoming new components or the new necessities in the agriculture. Hitherto that was not there. And there are certain good impacts of pros and cons of GR. We look into the pros and cons of GR. GR, after the advent of the GR, there was a thrust for research and education. There is a great trust for agriculture education and research. North have produced NARS means National Agricultural Research Systems have produced nearly 3,000 varieties of high-yielding, 3,000 varieties of high-yielding varieties under GR and 700 varieties of horticulture new crops. So like this, there is a great impetus for the research and education, agricultural education. And India stopped the imports. We have paid back the dues and we have stopped the imports. That is another benefit of. And by 2000, by the Green Revolution period, 68 to 78 is considered as the symphony of Green Revolution period. By that time, by 70, we have attained, by 1970, we have attained 230 million tons of food grains. So self-sufficiency, it is almost, we have started with 50 million tons in the year 50s. Now we have attained at almost 2,000, five times the rate. So we are able to stop the imports, paid back the debts to the foreigners, and self-sufficiency in food is attained thanks to GR. From begging bowl to, we are able to, if not imported at that time, exported at that time. The exports were not there, but now we are exporting it. But at least self-sufficiency is attained. This is the advantage of Green Revolution. And everything will be having its own positive and negative in nature. So what are the disadvantages of? Even if people say now at this stage, GR disadvantages or problems overweighed the advantages. Overweight. I hope I am clear. But at that time, it was a savior. As the time is passing, the problems of the Green Revolution outweighed the advantages. There was now we are at a crossroads. Indeed, Indian agriculture and world agriculture is at crossroads. Which direction we have to travel? Which direction we have to move on? And what are to be rejected, what are to be taken in? This is the biggest problem now we are all facing now. Because it brought so many difficulties now to us. Green Revolution brought so many difficulties. Can we name them one by one?
Pollution of land and water.
Very many.
Genetic erosion. Genetic erosion, sir. Our native genes were eroded. Wild ancestors.
Land races are extinct. Green Revolution only centered around 5 cereals: rice, wheat, maize, sorghum and basra. That's all.
High fertilizer usage leads to the
It has created a gulf. It has created a gulf in the rural area between rich and poor. There is a big gulf is created. There are inter-regional disparities it created. Regional disparities. In one particular area is advanced, and a particular area it is lagging behind. So inter-regional disparities the Green Revolution created in a drastic way. A gulf between rich and poor is also widened. To get it widened, GR helped, because DR benefits have gone to the rich people. We all know that. Then, pollution. Land has become completely useless now. Our mother soil is on deathbed. It has, because of the constant use of the fertilizers or unbridled use of the fertilizers, pesticides, fungicides and all these things, the flora and fauna has completely died. Soils have become lifeless, hasn't it? And even the productions also has come to a stagnant now. There, you see, we are unable to increase further. Whatever amount of fertilizer you give, whatever amount of package of practices you put in, but we are unable to increase. A stagnant stage has come because mother soil is not taking. For example, when we are in the bed, somebody, even medicines are also not working, they will say. Doctors will say, medicine is also not working. It means the patient is unable to take the medicine. So here, whatever you give feed to the soil, that soil is unable to take the advantage of your fertilization, whatever you are giving, additionally you are making it. So soils, then water ponds, water ponds, they have become dead zones. Water pools have become, water sources have become dead zones because of the multiplication of eutrophication. Because of the eutrophication and thereby the other consequences, they have become dead zones. So these are all happening. The diseases also increase because of the mosquito menace and all these things. Diseases also increased. To the human diseases also increased. Even for animals also. So So how to overcome this, how to rectify this is the biggest problem now. How to overcome this. Then in 2004, the government thought an evergreen revolution, second green revolution, or rainbow revolution, or green farming. Abdul Kalam called it as a green farming. So this is what are the components or the aims of this second green revolution. The aims are like this. Number one is cost cut, because what happened to, see, in our countries there are small farmers and marginal farmers are in huge in size. So the cost of cultivation has increased like anything now because of the costly inputs. To quote our Prime Minister, Indian farmer is purchasing the inputs at retail price and selling the produce in a wholesale price. Right? That is what is happening. So when the input cost has become much more, small and marginal farmers are unable to, they have become debt-ridden. They have to borrow from somebody, they have to borrow. Financial institutions are not giving. So they have to go to the money lenders. They have to pay much more. So suicides have become very common now. Farmer suicide have become common because the cultivation expenses exceeding the profit. So that's why now a stage has come where the government or the scientists or agriculture people are thinking, it is not the production that we need now. It is the net income to the farmer is most important. Net income to the farmer is the important arena. For that we have to try. Of course, for that 2004 actually once again a commission was created under the chairmanship of the Swaminathan, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan, and he had given the report. We'll dwell on that also. A little, see, we will throw light on that also. So, where we are? Cost cut is the most important thing now in agriculture. Cost cut without yield cut. Once again, we cannot forego the food security. Cost cut without yield cut. Here actually we have to take the advantage of the biotechnology. Biotechnology tools comes handy to us. Then value addition is another area. Another aim of second green revolution is value addition. Because our people are disposing the produce in primary form. So only 2% of the product is processed. So that's why much of the product in the raw form we are selling it. And another factor is also there because they cannot hold the stocks also. Because much of the farmers are small and marginal farmers. So they cannot store because their money lenders are waiting. They are sitting on the neck. And even the fields also you must be seeing, they go to the fields also because he may sell it to somebody else like that. So that is what is happening. So value addition is another factor. Employment creation. Employment has to be created in the rural areas. Otherwise, migration is occurring. Rural migration. That's why feminization of agriculture is happening now in the rural India because of men are migrating to have the work in the cities, towns. So womanization of agriculture is the another phenomena that is going on now. So that's why this, to stop the migration, gainful employment should be created in the village itself. Then only we can stop the migration, isn't it? So these are the main aims of and the concentration will be on all crops. Previously there was only 5 grains were concentrated in the GR. Here all cereals, all pulses, oil seeds, horticulture crops, and the holistic development. The holistic development of agriculture is the main aim of Rainbow Revolution, Second Green Revolution. And extension. There is a big gap now, what we observe, extension. The gap is technical know-how and field level do-how is not matching. Whatever technology that is available there in the research stations, the field level know-how is very, very less. So extension shall play a great role here to bridge the gap between technical know-how and field level know-how. The farmers are unable to practice because there is an extension link is there. The extension is very, very feeble in India. Very feeble. Very less. A survey was conducted on the extension front. It was believed, or it was noted by them, half an hour is the only extension facilities available to the farmers. Half an hour in a year. There is a great now, when extension topic we will take up, there is a great new private extension also nowadays because specializations increased. So when that feebleness is there in the extension side, so there is an improvement is needed. Then telecommunications, transport improvement, all these areas will be tackled in the second green revolution. They are focusing on employment creation, they are focusing on cost cut, they are focusing on value addition, and employment creation at the rural level so that the migrations are stopped. So this is what is being tried in second green revolution. Okay. So with all that also, what is being observed now in agriculture, or rather farmers' situation, is very precarious. And no youth is interested in taking the agriculture profession. Even agriculture graduates are also reluctant to go to the agriculture because it is not remunerative. It is not remunerative. It is not intellectually stimulating. Economically not rewarding. That's why should I go? Even a farmer's son also not interested to take up even agricultural graduates also not interested in taking up that is the situation. Unless it is intellectually stimulating and economically rewarding, youth will never be attracted into the agriculture. So what is going to happen to the agriculture in India? Old people, how long they will be here? People like me, how long we will be on this earth? Unless youth come and take up the mantle. So that's why a commission, the central government felt a policy is needed to this country. A policy is needed. After independence, we never had any policy in India. We never had any policy. But whereas 2% of the people, 60% of the people are in agriculture, and we are not having a policy yet. Whereas 2% of the people are there in the United States, and every 4 years they will be having a policy change. So we badly need a policy. So that's why they have appointed a committee, Farmers Commission, under the name Farmers Commission, to spell out a formula which will be suitable for the entire country, under the chairmanship of the Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. So they gave a report on 2006 which was well accepted by the all governments. But I give a blank, I put a blank, not implementing. Acceptance was there in the parliament, they have accepted, but unimplemented. So acceptance has become a non-acceptance. Then it is not practically translated what for the acceptance is meant for. But however, because we are not for criticizing any government here, and for heaven's sake, an IAS or a government employee should not criticize the government. It is a rule. It's a rule. Because we are a part and parcel of the government, isn't it? An IAS officer or a government employee is a part and parcel. What a politician is doing, politician only just directs, tell, do that, he will go away. But who is the real man doing at the field level, at the spot? It is the executive. It is the executive. They are the people doing it. And we are going to become executives here, isn't it? So there is no question of criticizing the government. We appeal to the government, we convince the government for better implementation. That's all. So the committee had given a report, and they have found two main twin problems of Indian agriculture. They have found out twin problems of Indian agriculture. What are the twin problems? Can we throw some light? Present day, what are the two main problems of Indian agriculture?
Fragmentation.
Ecology, do you agree? Ecology and economy are the twin problems of the agriculture today. That was the finding Swaminathan committee has made. Ecology includes land, water, biodiversity. Right? Biodiversity includes flora and fauna. Flora includes tree and plant, crop, and fauna means all other aquatic and farm animals. Okay? Aquatic and farm animals, fauna. So how to mitigate this, overcome this, lessen it at least? Here what you need, technology. technology interventions are need of the hour to save ecological or to answer the ecological ill effects. How it is to be applied is $1 million question. But what is needed is a technology. It varies from place to place, from situation to situation, and from time to time. It will be going on changing, isn't it? So it has to be evolved. The technology suitable to overcome the ecological bad effects should be evolved from time to time by farmers, by policy makers, by experts, by scientists. That's the only order. Then economy. Economy, when we say economy, farmers' economy. Farmers' economy is in adverse now. Economy is in adverse, negative, debt-ridden. So how to increase it? How to increase? How to double the farmers by 22? Farmers' income should be doubled. That was our PM said many a times. 22 has gone, now 26 is approaching 25. So that's all. But how to increase correct the adverse income of the farmer? Here, MSP becomes handy. By providing MSP to all crops in all regions. Provide MSP to all crops in all regions. Because every crop, whatever you are growing, you are committing an expenditure or not? You are incurring expenditure or not? So, every crop needs a support in every area. Now, how many crops are given MSP? Only 23 crops. 23 crops presently given MSP. Okay. There are several crops. Maybe from 50 crops we can name them. So all these crops are left from the arena of MSP. How they will cultivate it? In some areas you go, land races are grown because they need that. They eat that only. That type of food only they will be eating. Tribals or the people, those who are living elsewhere, remote areas. They need only land races food. They sustain with that only. So they also should be given MSP. A thorough survey should be conducted by the people, those who are in the helm of the affairs, and MSP should be divided for all regions, all crops. And then another thing is procurement is a must. Procurement. If you don't if the MSP is not honored in the market, even for 23 crops, it is not honored. Only 10% of the produce is honored as per the MSP. The remaining all, when farm laws we will be discussing in due course, when we take up the agriculture marketing, in the farm, there we will be discussing all these things. What are the farm laws and why actually the government has implemented so suddenly and why they were withdrawn by the central government after the struggle of more than 1 year at Sinkru border, Tikru border and Ghaziabad border. It was all withdrawn now. So what was the reason? That we will discuss in bit by bit. There was a long debate, we will be there for about a week days, we will be doing it. So MSP without procurement, without honoring, presently it is only a notional price. A notional price, an indicative price, an administrative price, not being practiced. That's why the meaning of MSP is losing the validity, losing its minimum support price is not honored. Only 10% of the produce is sold in the open market or somewhere. Then another thing is MSP should be given for all crops in all areas. Procurement should be there. And another thing also, risk price. Meaning, say for example, FSC is not honored. So you have to, the government has to come to the rescue of the farmer and see that the amount is paid. That is in the MP they have adopted this. Madhya Pradesh they have adopted it. When Shivraj Singh was there, the CM, they have adopted this. Market Stabilization Fund. This is called Market Stabilization Fund. Has to be instituted by the governments when there is a price crisis. The Kerala government has done for vegetables like that. When market prices are crashed to the lowest level, then the government has come to the rescue of the farmers. So like that, price stabilization fund has to be created. So in this way, the economy which was in adverse now can be corrected. Can be corrected. So the committee has given, not only identifying the problems, they have given certain suggestions also to the governments for implementation. They visualized the skevedness of the land distribution in India. Skewed means SKEWED, skewed. It means erratic, not regular. %50 of the people in India, 50% of the farmers in India are holding 3% of the land only. We are having about 162 million hectares of arable land. Out of that, 50% of the people are holding only 3% of the land holdings. 10% of the people are holding 54% of the land that is available. %60 of the people are having less than 1 acre. Less than 1 acre. 40% people are tenants. 15% of the people are landless. No lands. Agricultural laborers. So, after our first land reforms, this is the situation that Swaminathan's committee has visualized. So, they suggested first and foremost thing country needs another land reforms. And in that, they have put a stipulation also categorically, that is, every family shall have at least 1 acre. Every farmer's family shall be given at least 1 acre for his food security and nutritional security. For his food security and nutritional security. So you can have some little poultry, some little dairy in that land, isn't it? So that's why the first and foremost suggestion that the Commission has given, this country needs land reforms. And the second suggestion what they have given is grazing rights to the tribals and the pastoralists. Grazing rights. To tribals and pastoralists. Pastoralists ante పశువులు కాసేవాడు. The government should give priority for agriculture by allotting lots of budgets. Budget allocation is not there now. Say Paramparaga Krishi Vikas Yojana, they will spell it out in that way throughout country we are adopting it. 100 crores they have allotted. For throughout country 100. See, we will be going on knowing all these details as the time course is moving. 100. In such a vast country, 100 crores are given to Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana. Another suggestion what they have given, irrigation must be given priority by allotting more budgets. By allotting more budgets. Priority, priority, priority. Per drop more water, per more crop and all those things are there. But only thing is allotment of funds. Nothing can happen without, even if you sit here by paying the amount only. Am I right? They have to pay the amount to sit in this class. So, nothing happens without economy. So, that's why the government has to, it's not that you see lip sympathy it will be giving. They have to allot funds to for everything what is being said. Otherwise, it will become an empty promise. What is all happening is only empty promises. So, that should not be. Then, insurance is the most important thing. For all the crops, there is no insurance now. So, he suggested insurance, comprehensive insurance, crop, livestock, and human, all put together. Crop, livestock, human insurance, comprehensive insurance shall be made to the farmers' families. This is another stipulation they have made. Credit requirement has become much more. That's why credit should be given by the creditors at the rate of 4%, bankers. Cheap rate of interest, because credit necessity, now the whole problem is credit is not available in time, timely it is not available, adequate it is not available, hassle free it is not available. So these are all the things that are happening. So the time goes away. People are not going to the banks because so many formalities they will put it. That's why they prefer the money lenders. Though they charge a surplus interest, heavy interest, they prefer only money lender because he will give it hassle free. Immediately he will be giving it, and adequate he will be giving it. To the extent of sufficiency he will be giving it. So the banks or the credit institutions must give the at 4% concessional interest to the farmers. That is another stipulation, another this thing what they have suggested. We have seen the MSP to all crops we have seen. And MSP, unless it is honored, unless the procurement is made by the government or through some means, or price stabilization fund you establish, if it is not honored in the open market, price stabilization fund has to be created by the central government so that farmers will not be at a loss. Farmers will not be at a loss. Because our point is protecting the economy of the farmer now, so that he will be able to sustain himself in farming. Well, so what are all you have written? You just read out. First thing is land
reforms and grazing rights to the tribals and the pastoralists, crop, livestock and human insurance, and credit ratings of the 4% interest rate, and that's all. And land reforms. Land reforms. Okay, these are all the suggestions they have given, and MSP should be at this way. It should be offered. They suggested C2 plus 50. C2 is cost of production, not cost of cultivation, cost of production. Average cost of production. C2 is average cost of production plus 50. Why 50? Even for industrial goods also, after meeting all the expenditures, some profit is given to the industrialist, isn't it? So in the same way, farmer, if you give only C2 to him, how he will survive, how he will maintain his family, how his family needs are met, education or whatever you call it. To meet the family needs, 50% extra than the cost of production should be given to it. That is the formula he suggested it. Now the whole struggle is coming for what? It is not honored in the open market. They are giving it. Every year little they are increasing also. Who gives this MSP? MSP is given by Subcommittee on Economic Affairs, Central Government. Subcommittee on Economic Affairs accepts it, recommended by CSCP. Recommended by CSCP. It means Commission for Agriculture Costs and Prices. Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices, they recommend, experts will be there in that, they recommend before every season, and Subcommittee on Economic Affairs will accept the MSP and award the MSP. That is the sequence of the things that happens in that way. This CSCP was constituted in 1985. FCI was constituted when FCI Act was constituted in 1964 and FCI 1965 came into existence. F65, 1965. The duty of FCI is to procure from farmers, to store and to distribute. Market interventions. Market interventions. These are the three. With that motto, because procurement will be made, so simultaneously FCI is also came into existence along with MSP. Okay. So here, the riddle starts only here. In C250 only the whole riddle is starting. And non-honoring is the another problem. Farmers, though the MSP increased year after year for all the crops, they are increasing it, there is no doubt. But in the open market, it is not honored. So for that only, now people are asking for legalize it. Legalize the MSP. Only alternative is legalize the MSP. Hitherto it is only a notional price, administrative price or a bottom price. When once it becomes a legal price, legality is given to that, it becomes a market rate, market price. Nobody can purchase anything down to that. If you want to purchase above that, not down to that. Now what is happening? Distress sales. Now what is happening? MSP is there. For pulses, oil seeds, cotton, everything is there. It is all given by the government. But in the market it is not honored. You have produced more. Now the whole problem is marketing. It is not the production that is the problem now to the farmer. He is producing. He is a hard-working farmer, so he is producing it. But markets are killing. The killer is the market. So only alternative is, you see that legalize it. Even the farmers are asking 11 months or 12 months that vegetation went on is only for one word, this one word only. Legalize the MSP. We want, when you are awarding it, you honor it. You are awarding it. MSP is given by you only, by the government only. You honor it. To make it honored, to make you to honor it, you have to legalize it. When you legalize it, you cannot dishonor it. You cannot dishonor it. You have to honor it. Isn't it? So this is the crux of the problem now going on. Farmers' agitations are going on throughout the country. Is only for that. Fast unto death, everything is going on now. You know, before Corona, that all went on. We have all seen that. You must be all knowing about it. At Sikru border, Ghaziabad border, Singhu border, it went on for 12 months. 700 people died there. 700 people died there. Farmers died there, including women and children. Mostly the congregation was from Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. Because they are the people badly hit. Because Green Revolution produce is there. But throughout country also it will be helpful. Every farmer is benefited by that. Though agitation they are doing it, but every farmer is benefited. Every Indian farmer, when it is legalize it, every Indian farmer is benefited. Isn't it? So, these are the things that legalizing MSP is the only remedy to honor the MSP. Now we have written one question in the beginning, rationale of MSP. How MSP is given. How MSP is given. The rationale of MSP is, number one, to provide fair price to the farmer. To provide fair price to the farming community. Second one, to provide agricultural commodities to the consumer at a reasonable price. To supply agricultural commodities to the consumer at a reasonable price. This is the rationale. And third point is to incentivize the farmer. To incentivize the farmer to produce more. These are the 3 points involved in the rationale of awarding MSP. This is to be, if anybody is taking agriculture as an option and going for an interview, this question is going to be asked in the interview. Because I am elsewhere a mock committee member also in some of the institutes here only. Invariably I put a question. Being agriculture specialist, I invariably put a question. Explain this, what is this C2 and now let us explain. Let us explain. Again this C2, here comes the problem. In the interpretation which is given by the farmers as per the Farmers Commission report, and the government interpretation is different here. C2 is further split up into A2 plus F2 plus small c2. Meaning, this is we said production, not cultivation cost. Correct? So here, this A2 represents cultivation expenses. Only cultivation expenses. What are all the things that are needed, that are included in the production we are now going to it? A2 is cultivation expenses. C2 is average production cost. Well, please, am I getting clear? So it is further split up into A2. This is family labor. Family labor. To arrive at production cost, you have to take into account cultivation expenses, which includes inputs and other package of practices. Other package of practices. From ploughing to seed, you can tell it. From seed to seed, what are all the package of practices that we adopt? They need some expenditure. They are all to be included, cultivation expenses. When you clump this family, see, if the family goes outside and work, they get salaries, they get some wages, isn't it? So they are putting that in the farm because they don't want to go off as a coolie, as a labor. So they are putting in their own farm. So that also should be taken into account. Then this C2 once again say land lease. Land lease, it includes land lease amount. Who will give that lease amount? A lessee has taken 5 acres or 2 acres of land from me, a landlord. So he has to give, you are from Guntur, he said. Mirchi, how much it is, how much kaulu is there, lease is there? Maybe not less than 30,000. Not less than 30,000. So like that, for every crop, lease amount shall be included. In this split up figure only the whole confusion is coming here. So, here land lease, then land revenue, add another land revenue. Who will pay the land revenue? It is to be paid to the government. Farmer has to pay it. Land revenue. Then current charges. Then water charges. They all incur cost, am I right? Then depreciation of the machinery and equipment. I am using the equipment, isn't it? So, I did not get the equipment free. I have purchased it by paying the amount. So, there will be a depreciation year after year, year after year. My tractor will be getting old. So, depreciation of the farm implements and the machinery also shall be included. That is under C2. When you put all these things together, it becomes the production cost. Club all these things, all these expenses are incurred or not by the farmer. Please put out your hand on chest and say yes or no. Yes. Maybe one time he is not, but all these things are not, he is not getting free. There is a cost for all these things. Input cost, ploughing cost, irrigation cost, coolie raval kada. A coolie has to come and irrigate the land. And if he is doing it on his own, if he goes and work in some other place, he will get doing it. Storage. Seed to seed means all these things will come. Storage. He has to store it. He has to incur something for that. Even if you put it elsewhere, if cotton is put somewhere, I know it. You know, cotton or mirchi. Even in mirchi also, go down so better. So you have to pay something to them. Isn't it? Freely you are not keeping it. A godown owner, you are a godown owner. Are you going to keep my produce freely?
And take some lease.
Some amount I have to pay as a lease. So nothing what you said now here is freely coming to the farmer. Now farmers ask, your MSP should include all these things as per the recommendations of the Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. When you have accepted the report in toto, you have to accept the farmer also. Because it is not honored outside, we are requesting to realize it. If it is honored, no problem. If it is honored, MSP is honored in the open market, why should we ask for legalize and why should we die there? Children and women and others passed on to death. Why should we resort to it? We are not madcaps. We want to live on this earth. Farmer wants to live on this earth. So this is the thing. This is the crux of the problem now. Agriculture sector is facing ecology and economy. If we overcome these two things with the technological interventions and also with the policy matters. Policy of the government is most important here. Policy. See, technological interventions are left to the scientists. Let us leave it to them. But here is a government which is awarding the MSP, shall make a policy. We request. As a farmers, we request that. Isn't it? We are not asking the heavens. We are not asking the sky. The farmer is asking only for his survival, subsistence. He is asking only for his, just to be on this earth and to continue the legacy of farming. Continue the legacy of farming. I want to continue the farming, but keep me sustainable. Is it genuine or not? It's a very genuine request. If I am a farmer, if you are a farmer, if you are in the farming, naturally, we all need it. We all need it. So let us hope. Now India shines, India shines, India shines. India is shining. Okay. India must shine, shall shine. But Indian farmers will never, see, if Indian farmer is not going to shine, India will not shine. When 60%, 70% of the people are not shining, how can you say that India shine? Kindly tell me. So when majority are happy, we are all happy. At least majority. The remaining 30% is already happy. There are industrialists and they are all happy. Only the people, those who are left behind, marginalized, uncared, when they are happy, India shines. What do you say, my friend? Exactly. That is what farmer is asking. He is not asking a heaven. He is not asking heavens. Raite deshanike nemka. Love you. Raite is the backbone of India. Backbone. That's why you are sitting here, because you like that subject. Though you have not studied BSc, you like that subject. It is obvious now. Right, Nana? So I think, okay then, shall we call it a day?